Hey guys, so I know this is kind of a weird angle, but we are going to be filming my declutter. I am starting off with powder, or I don't actually know what order you guys are going to see it in, but I have face products, so it's primer, concealer, foundation, powders, and brow products. And as you can see, we have a lot here, so I'm just going to jump right in. Okay, so I'm going to start off with foundations. I really don't have too many of these. I recently kind of went through them and took out, if you guys saw in the products that I regret purchasing video, took out several that I wasn't 100% happy with, that I went ahead and got to return. So this is what I'm left with, and truly I only have like 4 or 5 foundations. The rest of them are BB creams and tinted moisturizers. So the first couple that I have are from the drugstore. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless, and I have it in the color 120 Classic Ivory. I really like this. It's a good color match for me, so I do plan on keeping it. This Revlon Nearly Naked, I don't truly love it. I think it could be a better color match. It's in 150 Nude. I picked it up on major clearance a while back, but it's just something that I don't really wear, and it's a little too slippery for my oily skin. I talked about this one in the products I regret buying video. It's the MAC Face and Body. I don't think I can make it work. I think I'm just going to pass it to a friend. Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus, I have the color 30, and I really like this. It's a good high-end foundation, and it's great for oily skin, so I'm keeping that. This is the L'Oreal Magic Nude Liquid Powder. What color is this? Creamy Natural 314. This is something that works okay for me in the summertime, but I'm not a huge fan of it in the winter. No, vice versa. I like it in the winter. I don't like it in the summer. So I'm going to keep it and try and play around with it a bit more. This is actually a concealer, not a foundation. I have one from Revlon Photoready BB Cream. This is in the color Light Pale. It is extremely light for me, and I don't plan on wearing it, so I'm going to be passing that on. I really like these two from e.l.f. This is a tinted moisturizer. I have it in the color Nude, and I really like this. It has SPF 20, and this is a BB cream in, what color is that? Buff. Also has SPF 20. I really like those, so I'm going to be keeping those. I have 2 of the Pond's BB creams. One is in the color Light, and one is in the color Medium. So the medium worked well during the summer, and the light works well for me every other part of the year. So I'm going to be keeping both of those as well. And then the last one I have is L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, and this is in the color Classic Ivory. Classic Ivory seems to work well for me all the way around, so I will be keeping that as well. It's also a really great foundation for oily skin. So out of foundations and tinted moisturizer BB creams, I am keeping 8, getting rid of 3. Next are brow products here. Brow products are something that I don't really go through very often because I don't fill in my brows like on a daily basis, but there are a couple here that I really love, and a couple that I'm just going to toss. First things first is the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit. This is in the color Light. This is really nice. It comes with a powder and like a waxy consistency, and it has a little brush that I don't use. I'm going to be keeping this because I really like it. I have this one that I bought from Walgreens. It's just called Brow Powder, and it has 3 different color variations. I do like this one as well, so I'll be keeping that one as well. I have an eyeshadow from MAC. It's in the color Cork, but I was using this for a brow product. It tends to work really well with my brow color, so I'm definitely keeping that. So I am going to be getting rid of this. First thing is this Eyebrow Treat and Tame from e.l.f. This color over here just definitely does not match me. It's more of like a golden bronze color, and I think maybe a couple shades lighter than my brows would work. So I'm going to be tossing that. I'm also going to toss this Brow and Lash Growth Accelerator. I got it from the girl that threads my brows. It doesn't work. I'm not going to need it. It's also about time to toss this e.l.f. Wet Gloss Lash and Brow. I don't know if you guys can tell, like, it's pretty gross and grimy, and it doesn't really have much product left in it, so I'm going to toss that. I really have been loving the Dipbrow Pomade in the color Soft Brown from Anastasia. I use very little. As you can see, it still has a ton of product. I dip it in the cap, and it gives me a very nice defined brow, so I'm going to be keeping that and trying it out a bit more. This is my Holy Grail eyebrow product. It's the e.l.f. Eyebrow Lifter and Filler in the color Light, and on one side it has the eyebrow product, and on the other it has a lifter, which is just like a peachy color highlight. So I'm definitely keeping that. Also keeping the Milani Brow Shaping Clear Wax. I really like this to kind of start my brows off with this and then put powder atop of that. It works great. I like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I have 2 little samples right here, so I am going to be keeping those just to use them up, but it's not something I would repurchase. I just want to finish them. I talked about this in my regrets videos from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. It is a highlight pencil in the color Camille. I'm going to be tossing this just because, or just maybe passing it to somebody else because I have no need for it really. This is the Maybelline Great Lash Clear Mascara. I really like this. As you can tell, I have quite a bit left in it. It's not too goopy or dirty. Very inexpensive and really good brow tamer. Last 2 things, I have this. I haven't even dug into this and give it a try. It's Petra Pixi by Petra, and it's like a highlight and 2 brow colors there. I got this from Ipsy. I'm still going to give that a try. And then my Milani Easy Brow. I like this because it comes with spoolie on one side and then it comes with the color on the other, so that's really cool. The color is a little too dark for me. This is in the color dark brown, but I am able to make it work, so I'm going to keep it. Brow products I got rid of 4, kept 11. Now here's all my concealers. Now I know I'm going to be tossing a bunch of these concealers because I don't reach for hardly any of them, so let's just get started. So I guess I'll start with the powders that I have. I have 3 of them. This is the Benefit Powder Flage. I've had it forever. I don't have that much left. At this point, I just want to use it up just because I've been working on it so much. And then these 2 from e.l.f. One is an eye brightener. It's the Mineral in Buff. And then I have the High Definition e.l.f. Under Eye Setting Powder. And it's not in a color, but it's like one's a yellowy and one is a pinky. I much prefer to set my I think I keep saying brows, my under eyes with like a pinky light tone powder versus a yellowish powder. So I'm going to be getting rid of the e.l.f. one. I have this concealer palette from Coastal Scents that I created myself. The concealers are really dry and I do not like the color choices that I picked out for myself. I really like the compact. I think it's a cute compact, so I'll probably keep that, but I'm definitely getting rid of the concealers. 2 of my Holy Grail concealers are from Maybelline. These are the Instant Age Rewind concealers. I have one in brightener, and as you can tell, it's pretty much done. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 uses left in it, and then this is in Correct, I believe? No, Neutralizer. And it's more of like a beigey yellow tone there, so I'm definitely keeping both of those. This potted concealer from Almay, it's a Smart Shade CC Brightener in the color Light Medium. Again, not something that I gravitate towards. I really do not like this dry formulation potted concealer, so I'm going to be tossing that. 2 other ones I'm going to be getting rid of the first one is the Booboo Cover-Up. This was from some sort of Ipsy bag. I really don't like the way that this applies. It's kind of thick, and I don't really like the color of it, so I'm going to be chunking that. And then this Fake Up little sample from, is this from Benefit? Yeah, I guess it's from Benefit. First off, it's in the color medium, so it's a shade too dark for me. And second, I don't like the little hydrating stick around it. It's just not my most favorite thing, so I'm going to be chunking both of those. Oh, I have another Instant Age Rewind here. This one is in the color Fair Light, again with that little spongy tip. Going to be keeping that, but something that I'm going to get rid of that I've had in my collection for a long time is this MAC Select Moisture Cover-Up Concealer in NC20. It just is so old. I feel like it's seen better days, definitely. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Or I'll probably just back to MAC it. But one MAC concealer I'm going to be keeping is the MAC Pro Longwear. This is in NW20, and I really like this for underneath my eye. It's a really nice cover-up concealer. Okay, down to the wire. I'm going to be keeping these 2. This one is from L'Oreal. It's the Magic Lumi. I'm almost done with it. I don't know if you can tell. There's just like a little tiny bit left. Well, probably several more uses. I'm not a huge fan of this. I wouldn't repurchase, but I am going to keep it just for the fact of using it up. And then the Maybelline, this one is in 15 Fair, so I can only use this under my eyes. I really want to get a darker one for the rest of my face, but I really like this concealer. And it's the Fit Me, if I didn't mention that. This is just a little baby sample of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye. I'll keep that just to give it a try. This one from Physicians Formula I am going to be getting rid of. It's the Concealer Twins. I have never reached for it. I picked it up on a coupon a long time ago, and I just really don't, I would not use the yellow at all. And this color just really doesn't match me, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And then these 2 I just swatched right here. So this color right here is the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer in the color Nude. So that's a lot of concealer. I think I'm going to keep this and give it a try. It's kind of on the orange side, but I'm thinking maybe it'll match my face. And then this one right here is this Physicians Formula Conceal RX in Fair Light. And can you see the color difference? Like, this is so pink compared to this one. So I think I'm going to keep this and try and use it under my eye. I always thought it never matched my skin, and it doesn't. Look how pink it is and brightening, but I think I'm going to try it for under my eyes. And then the last one I have is the CoverGirl and Olay the Depuffer, and I have this in the color Light. And you know, honestly, I've only used this like once or twice. It's the one that came with the little cooling tip, and it's kind of the same color as the one, maybe a shade lighter from e.l.f. So I think I may keep this and give it a try as well. Out of concealers, I'm keeping 11 and getting rid of 7. Alright, now for primers. This is going to be a feat because I love primers. So I have a ton of the like primers that fill in your pores or that are supposed to be oil controlled. So I'm going to start with the ones I know I'm for sure going to keep. So first off, this is my Holy Grail go-to. It's the Makeup Forever Step 1, and it is the Mattifying Primer. I'm definitely keeping that one, and I'm definitely keeping these two from Becca. I just purchased this one. It's the Evermatte Poreless Perfecting Primer. And I have a little guy and then a medium-sized guy. Definitely keeping those. Those are amazing if you have oily skin. Ones I know for sure I'm getting rid of. The Lorac Porefection Mattifying Face Primer. I didn't actually like this. It definitely does not control oil, nor does this one, the Matte Primer from Ulta. Not keeping that. Luckily, these are just kind of trial samples. I'm not keeping those. Or the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner. Not a huge fan of this one. Doesn't really fill in your pores like some of the other ones that I have. I'm also getting rid of the Smashbox Photo Finish. This is supposed to be oil free, but it's definitely not that great for oily skin. I did not like this one as well. The L'Oreal Revitalift Miracle Blur. I don't feel like it blurred anything. It was not a very good primer, so I'm for sure going to pass that. This one either, the Dr. Young Anti-Pore Pore Eraser Balm. I did not like the consistency of this one. It says that it is good for erasing pores, and it kind of looks and feels like the Poreless Professional from Benefit, but it doesn't. It has a different texture and slickness to it when you put it on. I didn't like it. That I am going to be keeping, well, I guess 3, but this is the same thing. The Benefit Professional. I have a little travel and a regular size. Definitely keeping those, and the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing. I wish I had not bought both sets of these because they're each like 30 some odd dollars, and they do essentially the same thing, but I love both of them. I'm not going to keep this Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I really didn't like this one either. It kind of has that same consistency of like the Professional, but it does not do the same thing, and plus it's potted, and you guys know I hate sticking my fingers in pots, so I'm going to chunk that one. I have a little bit left of this Hourglass Mineral Veil, like very, very little left, so I am going to finish it up, but this is not my favorite primer either. I do feel like I definitely own others that are better. Alright, Too Faced Primed and Poreless. I have 2 of these little guys. I'm going to keep one of them, but I'm going to get rid of the other one because I do feel like it's a good primer to travel with, but it's not my favorite, and when I finish it, I probably won't repurchase it. I just tried this Laura Mercier Foundation Primer. The thing I like about this is it does have SPF 30. It is definitely not something that I would want underneath my foundation just because it is pretty slick. But honestly, I'm thinking of trying it as like a daytime moisturizer and seeing how that goes. So I think I'm going to hold on to this, and then if I don't like it, I'm going to get rid of it. And the last 2 that I have are from e.l.f., the Poreless Face Primer and the Blemish Control Face Primer. I don't feel like I've used either one of these enough to really give them a fair shot. I've used this one several times and I really like it, but again, this is something that maybe I would consider actually using it as like a day-to-day moisturizer instead of a primer under makeup. So I'm going to keep both of these and check them out a little more. So for primers, I got rid of 7 and kept 11. 11 seems to be my magic number here. Okay, the last things I have are powders, and as you can see, I have a pretty big collection of powders as well, and I'm looking to dwindle some of them because some of them I haven't even reached for in years. So again, things that I know I'm going to keep 100% for sure. My Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This is the one that came out last year. I think they still do have this combination. I love these for like a slight contour, highlight of the face, like just to warm up the face in general, even everything out. Couldn't go without that. So for that, I'm also going to keep the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. This is the very first one that I bought. This is definitely more of like a good all over powder just to kind of diffuse everything on your face. It's so soft and silky, worth the money, so not getting rid of those. Some things that I am getting rid of, for sure this e.l.f. powder. I mean, you can tell by the packaging, I've had it forever, it's beat up. I did pretty good in finishing it, but it's like crusty now, and the powder is just so chalky, and I can't see myself using that up, so it's definitely gonna go. Also, this powder, it's the Rimmel Stay Matte in transparent. I have used this thing to death. I don't think I can finish it any more than I've already finished it. It was a nice powder. The packaging is awful. I mean, you can see like it doesn't even stay anymore. Definitely not travel friendly, but I would repurchase it, just I have so many more to go through. I'm also going to be keeping this Tarte foundation. It's in Fairlight Neutral. It's the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation, and I really like this one because it's something that I can just wear with concealer. I can put concealer like under my eyes and in my blemish areas, and then like kind of buff this onto the face, and I don't even have to worry about wearing anything else. It looks like I have full coverage, and it's nice, kind of like on the go travel powder foundation. I have two high definition powders, one from e.l.f. and one from Laura Mercier. This is actually just a translucent loose setting powder. This is the Travel Guide. I bought this because it was like half the price, and I wanted to make sure I love it, and I do. It's 100% worth the money. I love setting my foundation all over for it. It does not get cakey, gives you an even smooth canvas. I love it. So I'm keeping this one, and I've had this one in my collection for years, and truly I never reach for it. It's so messy. It's super white. It just is something that I never ever reach for, and I feel like seen better days, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. This also is the e.l.f. Complexion Perfection, and I held on to it for so long. There's a really big divot in here. I tried using it, but you can see there it's just so white and powdery, and it's very soft and smooth, but it does nothing for my face anymore. I would much rather use like the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder than this, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, I have these two here. This is the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. I've had this for a long time. They don't even make this anymore. It's in the color Light 45. I am almost hitting pan on here. This is kind of the powder that I've been reaching for now that my Rimmel Stay Matte has been going. So I like the fact that it comes with a little puff and a mirror underneath. I like the packaging of this one. So when I found out that they discontinued this, I went out and purchased this, which is the Maybelline Dream Wonder powder, and I got it in Classic Ivory. So as you can see, the packaging is still on this. I have yet to even use it. I actually think I'm going to keep both of these because I love this powder, and I haven't even tried this one yet, so I'm going to keep both of them. I'm going to be getting rid of this MAC Select Sheer Pressed. It's an NC20. I've hit pan on it. It's just, this is not the powder for oily skin girls. I force myself to use it, but to be honest, I would rather use the Tarte Full Coverage Foundation Powder than something like this. This is just, I'm not drawn to it. It's taken me years to hit pan on it. That tells me that I truly do not love the product, so I will be back to MACing this. This has quickly become one of my favorite products, Wet n Wild Color Icon. It's a bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana, but this, let's face it, this is not a bronzer. It is definitely like a regular powder, but I have done comparisons to this before, and this is so similar. It gives such a similar effect to the skin as the ambient lighting powders, and I highly recommend that you pick this up. Like $2 or $3, and you get so much product, and it will cover your face and blend everything out just like an ambient lighting powder. I love this. I picked up recently this e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder in the color Sheer, and this is supposed to be like the Pores No More from IT Cosmetics, and it honestly, just look how white that is. It is so white, and it truly does not blend in. Like, you would think that it would get rid of your pores and stuff. It does come with a nice sponge, but it really just does not blend in how a normal setting powder would. It is so soft and silky. I just much prefer other powders that I have. So this is going, and I think this is going to go too. It's the e.l.f. Mineral Pearls, and aside from having like awkward bulky packaging, I just don't find myself reaching for this as much. When I first bought it, I was really intrigued because it does give you some color when you swirl your brush in there. Like, it gives you some color and bronze to the face, but to be honest, I just don't reach for it that much, and I feel like I have other products that I like better. Last product I'm going to talk about is the Maybelline Fit Me. What is this? Just I guess just a powder in Classic Ivory. I've had this in my collection for years as well. I feel like it's probably one of the first powders that I purchased, and I think I am going to keep it and try and use it up because I don't know if you guys could tell I am about to hit pan on it. So I think I'm going to try and just keep it and use it up. So for my powders, I got rid of 7 and I'm keeping 8, which is really good. Okay, so here's the finished product. So this over here is what I'm getting rid of, and this is what I'm keeping. So I kept a little more than half of what I'm getting rid of, but I mean, you know, I still have a ton of stuff. I probably will go through it again at some point and see if I'm going to use all these products and get rid of them as I don't use them. But I got rid of almost half, so not bad. I have to kind of, you know, give myself a little credit here. So that was the end of my declutter series number 1. Well, technically I decluttered some of my eye products already. So series part 2, I will be filming my lip declutter, my blush declutter, bronzer, highlight, and I believe my eyeshadow, and I think that will be my entire collection. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! I ended up going through a few more things and made it a little bit more even. I have some bigger like palettes and stuff in here and bigger primers, which make it a little bit more bulky, but I'm about half now. Woohoo! Super proud!